The tragic passing of Bray Wyatt just keeps getting sadder and sadder, as we are now learning new details about where Bray passed away, as there are a lot of new details that we are just learning. We are now learning that Bray Wyatt almost signed with AEW. This was after WWE released Bray Wyatt in 2021. And during this time, there was a lot of talk about where is Bray going to go? Is he going to go to AEW, Impact, New Japan, wrestle on Indies? What's he going to do? In fact, we now know that Bray Wyatt came very close to signing with AEW. And at one point, TNT, one of the networks that AEW has its shows on, was told, get ready, Bray Wyatt is going to debut on our show. But the deal fell through, and it's believed it fell through because Bray wanted too much money, and AEW decided not to sign him. And eventually, Bray Wyatt would return to WWE in late 2022 at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, as he re-signed with a big money contract with WWE. The funeral for Bray Wyatt will be taking place in Florida in the next few days. We don't have an exact date yet, and we have not heard whether WWE will give wrestlers who are invited to that service the day off, or if they'll have to wrestle. We don't know that yet, but probably they will give the day off out of respect for Bray Wyatt. Triple H himself will most likely attend, and many WWE wrestlers will as well. And Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, has said that he will give anyone who is invited to the funeral the day off so they can attend the service, as Bray had many friends who are part of the AEW roster. Mick Foley was a big inspiration for the character of Bray Wyatt. They got the Bray Wyatt rocking chair idea from a segment that Mick Foley did. And then the Fiend, his finisher was the mandible claw, which also was borrowed from Mick Foley. So Mick Foley had a heavy influence on Bray Wyatt. And we are now learning sad new details about where Bray Wyatt passed away. So let's get into a full in-depth report on this right now. A few days ago, TMZ was able to get a copy of the police report regarding Bray Wyatt passing away. And in this police report, it had some very upsetting details in it, including that Bray Wyatt, who'd been suffering from a very serious heart problem, had just been to a heart specialist the morning he passed away. He came back home and decided to take a nap. He told JoJo that he was going to lay down for an hour, and he was going to set his alarm to make sure that he woke up in 1 hour. Sadly, it was during this time when Bray Wyatt passed away in his sleep. JoJo heard Bray's alarm clock going off, and it wasn't stopping. He wasn't turning it off, and she wondered, what's going on? Why isn't he waking up? Why isn't he turning off the alarm? She went into the bedroom and saw Bray not breathing, and he was beginning to turn blue. She immediately called 911, but they were unable to save him. It was already too late. And we know that doctors had told him to wear an external heart defibrillator so that if he did go into cardiac arrest, that it would be able to possibly save his life. Unfortunately, this wearable heart defibrillator was found in his car, and he was not wearing it. Could it have saved his life? We'll never know. So Bray Wyatt passed away at his home, in his bedroom. Bray's house is located in a small town called Brooksville. It's in Florida and is near Tampa and Orlando. About 10,000 people live there. And Bray may have moved there because he loves a small town feel. And sometimes a celebrity they actually prefer to live in a small town because you're actually not going to get bothered as much for autographs, pictures, things like that, compared to living in a big city where you're constantly going to have tourists, you're going to have people coming up to you all the time. But in a small town with only 10,000 people, you're going to see Bray all over the town every day. So you get used to it, and it's kind of boring. Oh, there's Bray, there's that guy who wrestles, and he's not hounded for autographs and pictures all day. He's just part of the community. And Bray probably liked that in a small town, everybody knows everybody. Probably kind of blend in a little bit, and people weren't so starstruck compared to living in a big city. So it kind of shows what kind of person Bray was. Bray and JoJo purchased the house in December 2022. And sadly, the realtor who sold Bray the house that he would eventually pass away in was his very own mother, Stephanie Rotunda. She owns a real estate agency called Heart of Florida Realty. Bray and JoJo purchased the house for $926,000. The home was built in 1914, but obviously it's been remodeled since then. It features 6 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and looks to be the perfect kind of place to raise a family. And that's probably why JoJo and Bray decided to buy this house. And sadly, previous pictures of what the house looks like inside were posted in 2022 to a real estate site for prospective buyers. Obviously, one of the 6 bedrooms is the bedroom where Bray passed away in. The bedroom where Bray passed away is located upstairs. And seeing these pictures today are very haunting, especially to know that Bray Wyatt passed away in this house and in this room. It is unknown right now what JoJo is going to do with this house, and that's probably the least of her concern, as she has many more things to worry about with the funeral coming up very soon, and how to raise their 2 kids without a father. So whether or not JoJo decides to remain in this house or to sell it, that is to be seen. And it's very unfortunate that Bray finally found his dream house and was only able to enjoy it for about 8 months before he tragically passed away. What are your thoughts about the report that Bray Wyatt almost signed with AEW prior to re-signing with WWE? And what are your thoughts about the house that Bray passed away in? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video.